I play this character called Ashu. He's a North Indian guy. He's a regular guy, or at least that's what it seems, that he's a regular guy. But as you sort of see his journey unfold, you realize that there's a lot more under the skin. But yes, primarily the film is about two star-crossed lovers. It's about two people who are fighting against all odds to survive, to and to probably succeed in dreaming of being together.
Okay.
And then yes, as you said, it is a ruthless mercenary who's chasing them, played by Bobby Deol, who's done, which I think is a great casting call. A lot of people, have never even imagined him in a role like this, and I'm so glad that we took this call. Yeah, I mean, we have a ruthless mercenary chasing, this couple, but it's not just a love story. It's not just about a couple eloping. It is not just about an antagonist chasing two protagonists. The film is quite a lot more than what it seems to be on the surface.
Okay.
The film is about hope. The film is about love. The film is about consent. The film is about fundamental rights, and yeah, and I hope every bit of what I've said right now reaches out to people and they can recognize this in the film. When you're shooting for something which is relatively darker than usual, it sort of tends to dawn upon you after a while, and you cannot. It kind of gets suffocating in that atmosphere, even off camera. So what Shankar sir, I think, I don't know, consciously, or it just happened to be so that the set was far more lighter than what we were actually portraying in front of the camera. And working with Shankar sir was I think working with Shankar Raman has been one of the biggest achievements of my life, if I can say. Um, I'm actually at a loss of words when it comes to just where do I begin. As a director, he's been fantastic. As a colleague, he's been fantastic. As a mentor, he's been incredible. So he's so much more than just my director for me. Working under his supervision, I think, has also brought out the best in me. There were certain areas which were untapped, and this man suddenly comes out of nowhere and taps into those areas and makes me think and feel like I've never done before. And that's exactly the reason why I say that it's my biggest achievement so far, to collaborate with someone so wise, collaborate with someone who is so human, who's a real personality, who's so human. I don't know. That's all I can actually say. I started when I was 17. But I always wanted to be an actor. Maybe because of the fact that when I was in school, I was already, involved in a lot of extracurriculars. I would hardly spend time in the class. I would be out probably playing a sport or dancing on the stage or preparing for a skit, and that continued even into college. So I think my parents and my elders kind of recognized the fact that ye acting mein hi kuch karna chahta hai shayad se. So whether it was my parents asking me to dance in front of my relatives, I would happily do it. So I probably was already interested in doing this. Yeah, and it started off pretty young, and I wanted to be an actor. As I said, at a very young age, I probably recognized कि मुझे ये करना है, try करना है. But you only start developing passion when you put a lot more of your mind and heart to it. And that only happened on the job. I started working. I realized that I've got these opportunities and I should make the most of it at a young age. I also wanted to, like everyone else, probably, there did come a time when I was thinking I'll join a film school or probably learn acting, but I never had the money to do so. And then when this opportunity came my way at 17, I recognized that, okay, I cannot afford going to a film school, but here life has presented me with an opportunity to learn on the job. And what better way to learn on the job? And that's how it began, and it still continues to be. So I'm learning every day, learning new things, unlearning at the same time. after I believe I had done 9 years or 10 years of television, uh, I sat back one day. There were different targets at that time. There were different motives at that time. I come from a very regular middle class family, and my parents always aspired that हमारे बच्चे का खुद का घर हो, like any other middle class family. They always sort of told us कि your graduation is very important, your educational support is very important, you should have a roof over your head. So when I did all of that by 25, I realized that okay, I've got a house for myself. So my parents are pretty content कि मैं बाहर ठंड में सड़क पे नहीं मरूंगा. I will have a place to come back home. I made a conscious decision to probably try at films, also because I was feeling very underutilized in television. There also, it all simultaneously so happened that I could not resonate with the content that I was asked to cater. I found it pretty regressive. I did not want to attach myself to it. So all in all, I think these 2-3 things sort of, sprung up at the same time, and that was my tipping point. And I decided, I don't think I want to continue with this. And that's how I went in. And when I started off with films, I did not start playing the central parts immediately. There was a time when I was actually very famous for being the hero ka dost for a good period of 3 to 4 years. And, every film, everybody wanted me to play the hero ka dost. And there was this conviction within me that no, I really don't want to typecast myself. There is a lot more that I have within, and I want to go out there and make sure of the challenges that are presented to me. And then came A Death in the Ganj, and a lot of things changed from there on. Every day, you end up learning something or the other. It's a very cutthroat industry. You are almost walking on eggshells every day. Survival, you really need some strong survival skills to survive here. I've learned a lot of things. There are so many things that I can pick on. I think the most important thing I've learned is that everything is temporary, and which was also reiterated with COVID. So, make hay while the sun shines, make the most of it. You're living a dream. God's blessed you. People have blessed you, but it's not something that is going to stay with you forever. So you have to respect it. You have to, be worthy of people's times and monies. And if you are responsible in that case, then you probably will have a longer career span. If not, there is always somebody right behind you, breathing down your neck to take your place. It has to be, of course, Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, which has been, it's been the trademark of romantic films, at least for my generation. Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, and then Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, again another Shah Rukh Khan film. Yeah, I think there are so many romantic films. Then there is an English film, P.S. I Love You, which I really liked at that time. It's been years, but I remember feeling so good after watching that film.
Right.
I loved Notting Hill when it came out. I really enjoyed watching it. Mera early exposure tha towards Hollywood films.
Okay.
Yeah, these are 4 I can think of at the drop of a hat. I would just say, don't set out thinking that you want to make it big. Just set out wanting to do good work. And if you're true to your work, if you're good at what you do, you will automatically become big. You really cannot go out there chasing superstardom. You have to chase excellence. You have to chase quality. And if you're good enough, and if you're consistent enough with your quality and excellence, you will end up becoming a great. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people chase greatness and not excellence. And that is something which, it's a very thin line, but that's how I see it. I would set out wanting to be good at what I do. And if I'm consistent enough with my good, there is no way that I'm going to skip people's imagination.